Calgary Police Service has charged an officer with unlawfully pointing a firearm during a traffic stop. At around 9 p.m., October 28th, 2016, two uniformed officers were driving an unmarked police vehicle when one of the officers observed the driver of a nearby vehicle allegedly make a rude gesture at them. The officers conducted a traffic stop on the vehicle, during which the driver allegedly pulled over and then moved forward several more car lengths before stopping. It is alleged that one of the officers then exited the unmarked unit, drew his service handgun, and approached the driver's side window and pointed his firearm at the driver for several seconds. The driver was arrested, issued a violation ticket for stunting, and then released. The driver later made a formal complaint to the Professional Standards section, and the incident was investigated. Following consultation with the Edmonton Crown Prosecutor's Office, a charge against the officer was recommended. Adam Massart, a constable with 6 years of service, has been charged with 1 count of unlawfully pointing a firearm under Section 87, Sub 1 of the Criminal Code. Constable Massart's status and assignment while these charges are before the courts is still being determined. Details of the incident and the charge are being released in the interests of public transparency. The charged officer is afforded the right to a fair trial, the same as any member of the public, and he will receive the appropriate supports from the Calgary Police Service during this process.
Whatever happened to that stunting ticket?
That's a good question. I believe that was withdrawn in court.
Now, is it standard operating procedure for police to pull over somebody who made a rude gesture? What would that be considered?
There are so many traffic stops that are conducted every day for a variety of reasons, so they're all different and unique, and I don't have the specifics that everything involved in this particular stop, and I think it's best to let those specifics come out at trial.
Is it illegal, though, to make a rude gesture at a police officer? What would that charge?
Yeah. Stunting is quite an unusual charge. There are a variety of things that can happen that can distract a driver that may fall under the definition of stunting. So for me to provide what exactly would be stunting, I can't do that. That's why it usually goes to trial, and then the presider will decide whether that's appropriate for the charge of stunting or not.
So that's what the charge originated from, that gesture?
Well, my understanding was a traffic stop was a result of the gesture the officer saw. So, like I said, I don't want to get into too many details because it's going to go to trial, and we'll let those details come out there.
What was the gesture?
I don't have those details as well, but once again, that will come out at the trial. Just in, I guess, a rude gesture is the information that I have.
When was the complaint made?
The complaint came to us shortly after. I'm not sure if it was a day or two after this incident, but shortly after the traffic stop. The Professional Standards section was notified, and we received a formal complaint.
Sorry, just to follow up on that, why would it take a year to investigate something that seems as simple as this?
Yeah, you know, that's a fair question. Most of our investigations take that long. Part of it is once we're done our investigation, then it goes up to the Crown, and then they have to assign someone, have them go through the process of looking at it. And all of this, unfortunately, does take some time.
So just how inappropriate is this use or alleged use of the firearm?
Once again, a very specific question. I'd rather that the details of this come out at trial. Officers are trained with the use of their firearm and use of force, and the details of what they did here will come out at trial.
What's not clear in the press release, though, is if the officer had their fire service weapon pulled before they got to the window, or was it once they were speaking with the individual, they then, conversation led him to pull it?
Yeah, once again, asking for specific details. Information I have is that the firearm was pointed at the driver, and I'm not sure exactly when that occurred, whether he pulled it out while on the way to the vehicle or when he arrived there.
Can you just give us a general comment, though, like without talking case specifics, about how serious CPS takes it when an officer draws his or her weapon, what kind of situation they would have to be in, or do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And year to date, we've had 23 incidents where officers have pointed their firearm at a member of the public. So fortunately, It is a rare occurrence, and the use of force, like I say, we have very detailed training for the officers when it is appropriate for them to draw their firearm and use their firearm. And it'd be impossible for me to say this is a situation where that would be appropriate or not. That is case specific and incident specific, and if the officer feels that drawing their weapon is important or is justified, then that's what they will do.
So I'm not sure if you mentioned this before. What's the status of the officer now?
The officer has been relieved from duty, as is our standard practice, for 7 days. And over the next 7 days, we'll determine what's going to happen with him going forward, where he'll work, or what his status is going to be.
So
Two
I
questions.
understand that there's been a little bit of tension between CPS and the Edmonton's Crown office lately, where maybe PSS decides that they don't think that there's a charge warranted. They still, out of an abundance of caution, hand it over to Edmonton Crown. Can you say in this case whether or not PSS supported or CPS supported the laying of a charge here?
All I can say is that it was forwarded to Edmonton Crown, and they recommended the charge, and we're going forward with the charge.
You've mentioned that there's been 23 incidents where officers have pointed their service weapon at a civilian year to date. Is this the only incident that is, in question of those 23?
Is this the only incident where a charge was laid?
Or that is being investigated, was a complaint was made about it?
Yes, as far as I know, and it's certainly the only case where a criminal charge has been recommended by the Crown.
So that's 23 this year.
Year to date, that's
You know
right.
how many were last year?
No, I don't have that information.
Do you know how many police officers have been charged with a crime, not this specifically, in the last year, in 2017?
No, I don't have that information.
Where did this incident take place?
I don't have the exact address. My understanding is southwest Calgary.